The Strike A Chord Podcast. Music chit chat with your hosts Valentina Gikowski and Amla Periakaba. Welcome to Strike A Chord, and on this episode we have bassist extraordinaire Nicola Russo. Welcome, Nicola.
Thank you. Welcome, guys. Thank you.
I like he's already owning the podcast. I love it. We're going to get him as a co-host. Yeah. Actually, he might want to be the host.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Thank you.
How you been, man?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Yeah. Pretty good. Today is a beautiful day.
Today's a beautiful day. Every day's a beautiful day.
Yeah, every day is a beautiful day, but today a little bit more because it's sunny.
And because you're here.
And because I'm here. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
That's
really
it.
Pleasure to be here.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah.
It's our pleasure to have you, man.
Yeah.
Funk bass.
Yes. Try to.
I don't think you're trying. I think you got it, man. I think you're there.
Something groovy.
You know, there's
Try
a
to be
certain
groovy.
there's a certain what the Spanish or the South Americans say sabor, which means taste. There's a certain taste.
Ah, yeah, sabor.
Yeah, there's a certain taste there. So, tell us a bit about it, man. Inspiration. You play with a fair bit of groups, which we're going to get to later on. But why bass? Why, in particular, why the genre?
Why the genre?
Yeah, like funk. Why?
I mean, look.
I know it's jazz. You know, you do a bit of everything, but
yeah,
where's your heart at?
Oh, look, my heart is into funky music.
Oh, there you go.
You can see.
Yeah.
But I come from rock from 70s.
A lot of people come from that era.
Yeah.
I'm from that era too, sort of like from that as well. Yeah.
That's where I come from.
Yeah.
I have to thank my father for that, because, he was a huge music lover. Never played an instrument in his life, never touched the guitar or piano or whatever, but he was a great
aficionado. He was
yes,
aficionado.
exactly.
Mm.
And he introduced me to, like bands like Led Zeppelin, Deep Purple, Santana, The Doors.
Yeah.
I was mad when I was a teenager, like Jim Morrison and all that jazz. And that's how I started, and then from there I approached the blues to Jolly Oker.
Nice.
Muddy Waters, Eric Clapton later on, and then Jimi Hendrix.
Yeah.
That's where I come from. And then, playing in bands and garage, how it works, just old school starting.
Playing on a bass that only one pickup works.
I started off with guitar.
Oh, you did?
Actually. I started off with guitar. Yeah.
And then they decide, am I going to be a guitarist or am I going to be a bassist? So where was that for you? Where was that jump
the switch?
Yeah, the switch.
It was a really funny moment when that happened because I was having a jam with my mates.
Okay.
And, talking about 90s, we're talking about like 95.
Ooh, that's a while ago.
96. Okay. So that's a while ago now. But, I was playing guitar and we were all, drunk and, we were all young. Crazy.
Yeah.
And as a friend of mine was playing bass just in front of me, and in the middle of the jam, he looked at me, he's like, let's swap instruments.
Oh.
I was like, okay, I never played bass before. So he handed me his bass guitar, I handed him over my guitar and started playing bass. And as soon as I touch it, and I felt that the low
love,
hand
the love
invading me completely. It's like, whoa, what is this? I went home and I said to my mom, I was like, all right, I'm gonna
play bass.
Yeah, I'm gonna play bass and study bass, and this is my journey. And that was it.
Wow.
That was it.
Good story.
That was my story. That's my story. That's how I started playing bass. Yeah. And never stopped since then. So
the funk part of it. What is your approach? A lot of funk bassists, or even funk musicians just in general, they usually, like you said, they start off from somewhere from a journey, like from the rock or the 70s and everything. But when was the time where you heard, all right, this funk? What was that thing that you heard, or the band, or the music? What was that? What was that?
Yeah.
That convergence.
The second switch.
Yeah, the second switch. Yeah, the second switch.
Look, when I discovered James Brown.
Oh yeah.
To be honest. Yeah.
Yeah.
When I discovered that guy, and I was like, "What?"
You felt good.
And I felt really good.
Oh,
That's right. I was like, "Wow, yeah." And and when I heard the first time "Sex Machine," I was like,
yeah,
"Oh
that
my
was-
god!" It's like I'm feel funky now.
Yeah. Well, he was the godfather, wasn't
Yeah, he's James Brown was the second switch.
he? Yeah.
Mm.
That it combined the bass and
And the rest of the band, the brass section, everything, it was like playing like one.
yeah,
He listened to
Yeah.
those recordings and it's
like
like,
Bootsy on the bass.
Yeah,
and then,
it's like-
Yeah.
at that era,
Maceo Parker. It was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh my god!
And you think
talking
all
about-
these people, they're all playing like one instrument.
yes,
Like they're on that one track and they're coming towards you. That's
they all play drums.
yeah.
It's like that's what's funny for
Yeah.
me, to a really funny approach. I was like, oh, okay, so every instrument plays drums. So that means that if I'm a guitarist, I have to think about not how to play a guitar as a guitarist, but as a drummer, and that changed the whole thing, the whole game. That was
that's
really cool.
that's something that not a well I'm gonna say some musicians are aware of. Some
Some do, some
yeah,
don't.
you're aware of that. All right, hang on, there's another instrument here. Wait, I have to adopt that.
Yeah,
So I
true.
have to,
Yeah,
I actually use that a lot.
yeah,
So when I'm arranging and composing, I use that all the time.
yeah.
How would a
likewise.
pianist approach this, or how would a percussionist play this, or
Exactly.
even a harpist? How would it sound? Not that I know how to play, but how would it sound? How would it what's,
True.
It's
True.
It's very important to have that awareness.
Oh man, it opens up a new new ideas. It opens up your imagination.
yeah, of course.
It enables you to understand also how other people, other instruments play,
Mm.
so you can play better. You can make them sound better too.
Yes.
Oh, definitely.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the
That's what
ensemble
fascinates
improves.
me the
yeah.
most.
Yeah.
It's like
She does that.
that's exactly.
Oh, it's key, really, especially if you're playing it. Well, you're playing so many outfits.
yeah,
You've got to be aware of what everyone else is
what
doing.
everyone else is doing.
You can't just be a soloist in a band, which is,
No.
I mean,
That doesn't
yeah.
work.
No, it doesn't
That can work maybe for a fraction,
Mm.
and then everybody look at you like, nah, you're not you will never be a working musician
Yeah.
if you don't do that. you know?
Yeah.
Especially as a bass player.
So true. So true.
There's
You
so
know?
much versatility and flexibility required as a
Yeah.
bassist.
You have
Yeah,
to
so
fit
true.
in.
Yeah, you've
And
got
if
to
you don't
almost
fit in,
change it at times too, especially like you said, if the percussionist decides to
Mhm.
start a new groove, you can't just be going. I mean, and a lot of bassists do that. They can't follow perhaps or
Yeah.
change the vibe.
Change
You're
the
the vibe.
yeah,
bass
you're the
is
vibe. You set the
yeah,
vibe.
you set the
You set
vibe.
the vibe, exactly.
So true.
Yeah.
And it's very important for the bassist to sit in that pocket
Oh,
and
yeah.
to make that pocket sound
Yeah.
like, that's the only thing that exists on this earth. Because, and for that you need to have technical abilities and stuff, but you have to have awareness. You have to
Awareness is the
that-
key.
That's key. It's like
Awareness
the
is the
energy,
key.
that thing,
And
because-
presence as well.
and presence.
Mm.
You have to be present on
yes,
the stage.
definitely. And you have to enjoy it. You have to
Oh.
have fun.
Man, you have to enjoy it every single moment, even
Yeah.
the mistakes. That's what I
Yeah.
say to my
Yeah.
band members
Yeah.
sometimes. Like, I don't mind if we make mistakes as long as you mean it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Own the
saying?
mistake.
Own them.
Could turn
Like,
it. It's
own
not
it.
really a mistake, right?
Yeah,
it's
because-
it's an embellishment. It's a
I like
flavor.
that.
Yeah,
It's
it's
an
an
embellishment.
embellishment. If you approach it that way.
yeah, yeah.
Because, if you are meant to play a melody or a bass line and you put some wrong notes in it, you feel like, oh, damn, that was wrong.
But you're aware of
But
it.
your
aware.
facial expression
Yeah.
changed, your body changed,
Mm.
and you lose the rhythm. The band is gone,
Yeah.
and the audience are focused on you. That you are
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Instead, it's like, oh, that was good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
you flip it from a negative to a positive.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like we had a gig on the weekend. There was a lot of mistakes, but we just go with it. Go with it. People like to sometimes see those little things because it's engaging. It's something different, you know.
Exactly.
But like you said,
it's organic.
yeah, it's organic.
can.
You have to swap it around and say, okay,
Yeah.
like
Laugh about it.
yeah.
Laugh about
We
it.
had an issue with lighting from the thing, and I was
Oh
playing
yeah, that
by
was
myself.
hilarious. I was having a chuckle.
And I was playing, and lights are going off and on and off. And
I kept changing the configurations during the piece,
damn.
so it was
Oh my
just like
God.
on, off,
and I'm just
on,
going.
off.
I'm just going with the flow. You know, yeah, no, all good. Just go with it.
Yeah,
You know?
just go for it.
It's not about sometimes about playing everything perfectly. It's about being human.
Yeah, being human. Yeah.
You know?
I kind of liked the light. I mean, I was in the audience for that song, so I was enjoying.
You enjoying the strobing lights?
That's cool. We see, yeah, but as long as you have fun. Man.
Yeah,
You have to
right.
have fun.
You know, you have to have fun.
Yeah,
Of
yeah.
course, also like I played also in gigs where the drummer or the guitarists were not there,
Mm.
and that's a hard gig. You have to, you know, really pull up all your strengths to make it work, at least for yourself,
Yeah, yeah.
and also for the band. But
Yeah.
that's
We've all been in that situation.
yeah,
but
exactly.
But I think that if you're playing with a musician that's not of that standard, but is a really good worker and a really good person, and you really get along, you don't mind that. You go in there and you drop your level to actually pick up
Yeah,
everyone else and be on that
true.
same, so you, on that same journey, on that same train. But if you've got someone that you're not getting along with on a personal level in the band, and that happened, it's like, well, you know what? It ain't gonna happen at all. You know, that's how I see it.
It becomes harder.
Yeah,
Becomes harder, you know,
Yeah.
and then it also like I saw like people hating each other out of the stage, and then on the stage creating the most beautiful magic ever,
Yeah,
and I was like, wow,
yeah. They're there to
there
do
you
their
go.
job.
That's the key. Music is the key.
Music is always the key.
It's always the key.
Music
you
is
know?
always the key. It's like I always say, it's like oxygen.
Yeah,
It's a necessity. You need to breathe it.
yeah, exactly.
You know, it's all about being there, being in the moment as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the way that I see, you can't be a musician, part-time musician, or you can't think music part-time.
No,
You know,
24/7
it's like
for the rest of your life.
yes, you can't do without. It's like, oh, you know, I think about music 2 hours a day. No,
Nah.
it's like
You get up in the morning. You
I
go to bed.
sleep and
and you-
dream about
yeah, yeah.
music. You know,
You snore in music now.
Yeah. I like that one. You're snoring music.
you know, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
that's Nicola. That's what it's all about. It's when you're a musician, the passion overtakes and turns it into an obsession.
Yeah.
And when you're younger, you don't care about anything else. You want to be that person on stage. You want to be that rock star. But
True.
as you get older, you get to understand more and more things. And that's just part of the maturity, right?
Yeah.
And then you get to enjoy it a bit more as you get older.
Yes, exactly.
You know?
Because you start to let go a lot of things that you were
A
holding.
lot of those egos, a lot of those
Egos,
insecurities,
yeah, you
and,
know,
and
it's
then you
like,
get on stage. You don't really give a shit. You just want to enjoy. You want to make sure that people are happy.
Happy.
You want to go out there and just smash it. You know, you're not there. All these little intricate things that you need to get.
No, exactly.
it's not
yeah.
about that anymore.
You want to go back home after the gig and feeling really, really good
So
with
true.
yourself.
So
Like,
true.
oh, I had so much fun tonight.
I did that on the weekend, and I'm gonna get to bed till 2:30 in the morning. So
That's right. That's what happens to me.
Yeah,
I'm so like electrified after the gig when I had a good gig.
the adrenaline,
Adrenaline.
and
yeah.
then you need to sort of like, whoa.
Yeah,
and
takes
then
a while
It takes
to
a while.
wind
Takes a
down.
while. Takes a while.
Yeah.
Tell us about your projects, Nicola.
You have a few projects. I actually, tell us about your projects. I actually have a question about one specific project.
Go for it.
Dodge Sedan.
Dodge
How did the
Sedan.
name come up for that band?
I know.
Because it's a really
That's
cool.
very American.
Yeah,
I mean,
it
I
is
love it though.
actually.
I love the
actually.
name. It's just so unique and it stands out. And like,
yeah?
it just to me, it sounds like I just think of an Aussie Ute or like some kind of
Yeah, I mean, it's American. It comes
Actually,
from America.
You know what it makes me think of?
yeah.
Like a 16 and 17-year-old couple in the back. You know,
It
the
is a
drive-ins,
whole-
the
it
drive-ins
is.
in the States, you know,
Yeah,
like Dodge
that's
Sedan
right.
at the
Yeah,
back.
it's a
You know,
Dodge
where you-
Sedan. It's
I've
a
got
car.
that, you know.
It's a
Yeah,
car,
yeah, yeah.
Right? From 70s.
Yeah.
So basically comes from, you know, the movie Blues Brothers?
Yeah,
Oh
of course.
yeah. Yeah.
So the Blues Brothers mobile, actually.
Yeah,
The Blues Brothers
the
car.
copper car.
The copper car. That's a Dodge Sedan.
Oh,
1970.
perfect,
3, I think.
Yeah.
And because my father and I, it was actually a ritual. Every year, at the end of the year, we sat after dinner and watched the movie together
Oh, really?
because it was a
Oh.
thing,
Yeah.
right? And then he passed away, and I found myself watching the same movie years later, and I was like, "Wow, Dodge Sedan, that sounds pretty cool. I want to name my band with
Yeah.
that.
I want to
So
get the
that-
band back together.
Yeah,
I want to get the band back together.
That's right. I'm gonna band.
As long as you
band
don't
together.
play in a place where there's a cage and they're throwing bottles at you, you'll be all right.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
And that what the name comes
Awesome,
from.
awesome name.
basically.
Love it.
So
Love it.
So this band, you're leading this band. Am I correct?
Yes, yeah. That's my
Your
first.
baby, yeah.
This is your first.
That's my first project as a band leader.
Okay. How are you finding it?
Oh, challenging.
Oh,
Really challenging. It's
Please
not an
do
easy
tell.
ride.
Do tell.
Exactly.
I'm sure you two have a lot to.
Yeah, a lot in common. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is a challenging on a personal level and a social level as well. And yeah, it's exciting at the same time, because you have people they're willing to play your music,
Yeah.
to interpret your music, your ideas.
That's a big one.
Actually, no, it's not my music. I don't consider that my music. I present to them ideas, okay?
Yep.
Cells.
Yep.
It's like, hey, this is how I feel.
Okay.
How do you interpret this feeling?
Yeah.
Sometimes, I give guidance. So I would like to hear the drum or the keyboards or guitar, but I leave for them to interpret.
Creativity.
Creativity, yeah.
Yeah.
Free creativity, because that's what makes the magic for
Yeah.
me
Yeah.
to enjoy, the band,
Yeah.
basically. And also challenging because, the challenging part is to put them together in the same room.
Yeah.
That's really challenging, and
Yeah.
everybody has their life and
Yeah.
Yes.
and
So
it's,
true.
it's challenging.
That's the standard thing, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's not a lot of people who do music full time, and you got a lot of musicians that are, they're working full time during the day. So
and that happened to me
they've
too.
got life, as you said.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's life. So you need to work around that, and being the manager.
Understanding and also understanding that
Yeah.
people they're willing to do it, but they have their own life and
Yeah.
they have their work, they have families, they have
Yeah.
they have
Yep.
all the stuff.
But also, you have your own life as well. So you gotta also put that factor that in as well, because it's not that you're available 24/7 either. It's so you need to get that happy medium between everyone. Organize the rehearsals, organize the things. For example, the charts, the recordings that you're going to be working on. It's challenging.
Yeah, but when you are a band leader, all that time that you spend of making charts or creating new music, organizing events or creating events, that's time for you that you're enjoying doing. At least that's what happened to me. I mean,
Yeah.
like I can spend days or weeks organizing my things. I don't care.
Yeah.
And also overbook myself most of the time,
Yeah.
playing in
Yeah.
so many, projects and bands and gigs and rehearsals.
Yeah.
It happens so many times that you
Yeah.
overbook yourself.
Yep.
And and that happens too.
Yeah.
Because if you want to be a working musician and you want to put yourself out there and especially you love performing
Yeah.
live, that's the risk.
You got to make that sacrifice. You got to
You
make that
know?
sacrifice, and that's again that's the beauty of it, and you get to do it yourself. But it also takes time. It does eat up into your time. So,
And patience. You have to be
Yeah.
patient
Yeah,
with
patience.
yourself.
Yeah.
and I
Yeah.
think what I do is I start scheduling my time because you can't keep up. The day's gone before you know it. It's like, oh, what did I do today? It's like,
Yeah.
I did this, but it feels like I didn't do anything. So I start to schedule my days now. Otherwise
That's
it gets away from me.
Yeah, true.
So,
True.
But
Yeah. It is
what
true.
what was the inspiration between for this band and what do you have in the band? What are the band members? What's the inspiration? What are the members?
Oh, look, when I decide to put together a band, my first band as a band leader, and when I decide to lead a band, because never thought before. I was always a bass player, just playing other people's music and enjoying and that's it. So I sat down on my desk and I, put down some PowerPoints.
Mapped it out.
Yeah, mapped it up. It's like, okay, so this is how many instruments I wanted to have, how many, if it's going to be a singer or not. Am I going to sing? Or, instrumental, what kind of venues I want to play. I map it up like few points, not too much.
I'm interested about that. When you map it out, do you do good, best, and all the bells and whistles, or did you just write out what you
Meaning
thought?
like
Like good, better, best, like of your band, of what you want your band to do, what the outcome is going to be. Like,
of course I put the best.
yeah,
top.
but did you have like stages? Like
No.
Or do you just point for the best?
No,
and
I
that's
just
what's gonna
point
be?
for the best. Because
like
we
that.
were saying
I like
before, if you have to do it, you better do it.
Go all out. Yeah.
You dream big and
Yeah.
and trying to get there.
Yeah, good stuff.
So and then I started from there and then I collect all my ideas that I've been, doing myself at home on my computer and it's like, okay, I had a listen and I was like, hey, that's pretty cool. Maybe I can show to someone and see what they think. And I made an experiment. People start liking it. I was like, okay.
So you did a bit of a musical survey.
Yes, I did a musical survey at the beginning, and then I had a few jams with a few friends.
And you got some feedback.
And feedbacks, they liked it. I was like, hey, let's do it.
Yeah,
And
nice.
Yes, the rest is history.
You're part of a few bands here in Melbourne. Do you find that there's influences from those other bands in your band?
That's really hard to say. No, I don't think so. No.
Because things rub off. Even when you don't think that they rub off, they rub off. And you start playing things, then you listen to yourself and you think, oh, hang on, where's this coming from? And then you sort of like you wind back the tape.
Yeah. No, I don't know. Look, it's a big blend.
Yeah.
Okay, especially with Dodge Sedan. When I write music, it's just like I try to blend everything, all the genres that I like. Try to make them work first.
That's a big challenge.
Yeah, that's a challenge itself. But I don't know. It's hard to say.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, because sometimes it's it depends on every musician, but sometimes it's part of their developing not careers, but their own developing beings and entities.
Yeah.
And they
It's an entity.
Yeah. And they get these influences from here, from there, and they're from all these groups or people that they play with, and then they create this unique sound, and that's what I'm asking.
Yeah. No, basically not. The way that I see it,
Okay.
I don't see that that happens with Dodge Sedan. I see that a lot of musicians that are in Dodge Sedan right now, they play in so many other projects, and we find each other, playing in different projects in different venues with different completely different styles of music. And then when we come together with Dodge Sedan, I'm pretty sure that we will bring some, their energy that we catched somewhere else. But basically, Dodge Sedan is more like is not an improv band.
Okay.
It's like there's more like a structure and it follows the songwriting more than the music writing.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
It's like,
I know exactly what
there
you're
is
saying.
an A, B, that's the melody here.
So it's more structured.
It's more structured. Yeah. And trying to be free in that structure.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's good. I like that because it's not just a free for all where sometimes, improv is good, but sometimes it's hard to think about what you're going to do. And
Yeah, true.
whereas if there's some structure there, that'll give you sort of
Inputs.
Yeah.
It gives you an input. It gives you like a hint. It's like, hey, you have this you can work on.
Yeah. Hey everyone, just wanted to take this time out to thank our sponsor, Cake Eclipse, for adding a touch of sweetness to all of our podcast episodes. Craving an escape from the ordinary? Let Cake Eclipse transport you to a realm of delectable wonders. Their custom cakes and sweets are more than just desserts. They're a fusion of flavors that'll ignite your senses. Cake Eclipse crafts each masterpiece with devotion and passion. And whether it's a personal celebration or just a desire for a slice of perfection, Cake Eclipse has the perfect treat for you. As we continue our podcast journey, take a moment to appreciate the finer things in life. Our heartfelt thanks to Cake Eclipse for making each episode a little sweeter. Visit their website today at cakeeclipse.com to experience the eclipse of flavors that only Cake Eclipse can offer.
Yeah, no, that's what you were saying. Both of you were saying with the structured improv and improv. It is nice. I guess a lot of my music is structured improv as well with the, but then it's also cool to just improv. And it's interesting what you're saying about how you feel like, I guess that's one particular, a blend of genres.
Yeah, blend of genres. Yeah.
Yeah. I find that I'm noticing that I'm starting to do what you were saying too. Like I guess previously I'd be playing in one band and then what I was playing in that band would move over into the other band, but then it wouldn't necessarily work in the other band. So
that's right.
Yeah, because they're completely different styles, and it's really cool to be able to just kind of put one hat on and then go, oh, I'm playing Latin now. Okay, let's. It's that awareness as well, right?
Exactly.
It's all about the awareness.
It's all about the awareness.
It's also like learning new languages.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
You learn how to speak Spanish, and then
See.
Exactly. And you change your mentality. Your mentality shifts.
Well.
Yeah.
It's like
it's very powerful.
It's powerful.
Yeah.
It's something that not everyone can do. I'm talking about just generally, not just musicians, but the general people. Like it's like can you imagine going into work and you've got a role to do, and then they give you something totally different to do today that you haven't been trained in. And you think, oh, how am I going to do this?
Like, where's the hat for that? Yeah.
So where's my training?
Yeah.
That doesn't happen in music.
No.
Especially if you're a session muso.
Oh, if you're a session muso, you're on the spot.
Yeah. You got to adapt. You have
to adapt. You have to really be able to adapt yourself really quickly.
Chameleon.
No self-judgment at all.
Yeah.
Like you have to move on.
Yep. It's part of the fun though. Like as soon as that self-awareness kicks in, like I wasn't able to do that before, and I was getting really frustrated and going, why am I bringing classical into every single style I'm doing? But once you have that awareness, then you can just muck around and experiment.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's how you
how you relax and you enjoy yourself, and you have a good performance as well.
Yeah.
Because you're letting go of all the self-talk and like, oh, am I doing right? Am I choosing the wrong notes, or am I choosing the right notes? Or that's too loud, or maybe I'm pushing too much.
Yeah.
No. Just leave it aside.
Yeah.
Just relax.
And
go with the flow.
And play.
Finesse the flow.
Play. That's the
Finesse
word.
the flow. Finesse the flow and play. Yeah.
That's right.
It's very important because you yourself get stressed, and then when you get stressed, you're contracting, your muscles tense up, and then you think, I can't even play.
Yeah. And all of a sudden, all your imagination goes like in a little box.
Yeah.
And you feel like, I want to go home.
Yeah.
I better go home.
I want to go home and watch Netflix.
And
have some chips.
Yeah, exactly.
And have some chips.
And think how miserable I am. But that's not what you want to do.
No, it's definitely not what you want to do. It's all part of that moment, and it's all a part of being an artist. Right? And everyone has their days, right? Everyone has their days where, it's not my good day today,
Yeah, exactly.
Like we were saying before, we're not having a good day, but you know what? I think when you start playing music, and especially with other people, that bad day can turn into a very good day, if you allow it to.
Exactly. That's the. I think this is the essence of it. Yeah. Of being an artist, because in my view, and maybe I'm wrong, but being an artist is like you are being able to embrace whatever happens within yourself and outside yourself.
So true.
You know what I mean? It's like if you're sad and if you're happy and having a bad day or a good day or whatever, you transform that into art. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's being an artist. An artist is not just like a musician or a painter or a sculptor or whatever. Artist is also the next door neighbor it's
the being.
Exactly. That he has a family and he's waking up in the morning and go to work to feed his kids. I mean, that's an artist too.
Yeah.
He's making his life an art, and a piece of art.
He's making
for what he believes.
Yeah.
So true. He's making of it. He's making something of it.
Exactly.
You know? So that's so
beautifully
true.
put. Yeah.
That's the way that I see art. And then of course musicians, poets. We express our feelings in different ways.
In different forms.
The
outcomes
we learn,
are a bit different.
Exactly. We're more accustomed to learn certain skills to express ourselves differently.
So true.
That's it.
And it's funny that you said that, because when there's, for any artist really, when there's a something involved, whether it's a piece of music or it's a painting or it's a sculpture, whatever it is, your emotions are in there. Right? So the way you feel at that time, that's the way you're going to play it. That's how you're going to produce that thing.
True.
So it's not every day that you play the same thing every day. It's not like on a process line. That's why a lot of these artworks in the world, they're just the one, and a lot of recordings that you hear, like especially like older recordings, when you hear these bands, they go in, they record, the magic happens then. And it doesn't happen.
And it doesn't. Yeah, exactly. That's pretty much. It's so true, and that's what Frank Zappa said. Miles Davis said. You know,
Zappa was an advocate of that.
Exactly. So Frank Zappa was like, every opening of his gigs, he was telling to the audience before he start playing, it's like, if you came here to expecting that to hear the same thing that we played on the record,
it ain't happening.
You're in the wrong place.
Yeah.
You're in the wrong place. Go home.
Yeah.
That's what he used to say to people. And then it was so incredibly unique and true as well. It's like, we're artists, we're musicians. We make it on the spot. We live the moment.
Yeah. So true.
It's like,
and they had all those people on stage that were of level, right? Like mega artists on stage, and you got to give them the time to breathe. Something's happened on stage. Sometimes magic happens, and things just thinking. I've been in the center of that with many musicians, and
true,
where you're just accompanying, just listening to what's going on. You think, you wanna drop your instrument and go into the audience and watch and listen.
True,
yeah.
You think, man, and I've had many times where I've just stopped playing and I think,
This is so cool.
This is cool. This is just to listen and just sit back and listen. But and you're very grateful to be in that moment with these people, with those people. You're always grateful.
How fascinating what you just said, because you're playing, you're creating on the spot, you're creating music on the spot, but at the same time you see yourself from the audience because you feel that it's so good what's happening, not what you are doing, but actually what's going on, it's being created. Yeah. You know what I mean?
And that's that out of body experience when you can see what the people are seeing there, and you can see it in your head, and you're thinking, this is pretty cool. Or you're thinking, this must sound really shit if you're having one of those days.
Look, it's true.
Because it's like this, right? It's like a roller coaster.
And that's fun.
Yeah.
That's what I call fun.
Yeah.
Because when I'm on the stage, sometimes I focus on someone and the audience, and you can see a guy in the corner with his eyes closed and his tripping balls just listening to what you're doing, what he's listening. And then the other corner, there's someone who's looking at you like with a really weird face, like, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah.
And I laugh on the stage. I laugh a lot on the stage.
But that's
not
good.
at them, not at the audience.
No.
By all means, no. But I
just laugh at those particular people.
the situation that it's created. It's like that's really fascinating. That's it really, it entertains me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like,
you
that's
let
cool.
go of the expectations
exactly.
too. Like everyone can experience what they're experiencing.
Yeah.
And that's part of the journey. It is fun. Yeah.
That's fun.
You have a lot of that in your shows. Like, people sit and listen and enjoy, like, with your
thanks.
music.
That's great that you think that.
No, I know. I've seen the gigs and everyone's just sort of like mesmerized at what you're doing, because your music it's affecting them somehow, right? It's like putting them in a trance.
Yeah,
you know?
I've just slipped something in there in the air, you know.
Right,
That can be a good marketing strategy, but
Yeah.
What, right, hypno?
Want your
Right,
music,
hypno?
want your audience to listen to you.
Yeah.
You know, try this gas. You know,
yeah.
Yeah.
scented with extra
Lavender.
pheromones. Lavender, yeah, that's probably
Lavender.
better.
Oh my God.
But
Yeah.
that's what it's all about, right? It's music is a roller coaster of everything, of emotions, of playing, of technique, of everything. You can practice and practice and practice and practice. You get up on stage, and it can either be really, really good from what you've practiced, or it can be totally different. You know?
Yeah.
Especially if you're in an improv sort of
Oh yeah.
setup where you're playing A, B, and just improv now. And just go for improv for about 15 minutes.
That's
You know,
that's
and then
true.
we'll end it. We don't know how you're gonna, but we'll end it.
It'll
You know,
happen.
it'll happen.
True.
You know,
That's what I'm kind of doing with my trio at the moment, because with Dodge Sedan, like we said, is all structured and stuff, trying to be free in the structure. But with Trio of Bloom,
Oh yes, I was going to ask about this
Yeah,
new
this
project.
trio
This is a
that-
new one, right?
this is a new
yeah.
and it's just improv on the spot, and
Awesome.
just no structure, no nothing,
Oh,
just
wow.
feeling the space and connecting with fellow musicians. And so, like, sometimes I ask the audience, like, how you guys feel? What would you like for us to play? Give us an hint, give us a rhythm, give us whatever, a scream or whatever. It's like, just give us something, and we build from there. We get that cell, and then we develop something, and hopefully you guys can. You know.
next time I'm going to be in the audience. I'm going to be in the audience and yell out.
No, I love that. I actually
Yeah.
do that with some of my looping. If I'm going to improvise a song, I'll go,
Right.
what mood are you feeling? That I'd have to come and check your gig out, or I'll go, sometimes I'll go, what key? Not E major. And then someone will go, E major. You know?
Yeah, that's right. So you see, you start to
Depends.
interact.
Yeah, and it's
Interact with
fun.
yeah.
It's really fun.
It's
Sharp
really in the
minor ninth.
moment.
Yeah,
It's
that's
like, hey, it's
right.
happening now.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you're interacting with actually what's going on.
Yeah.
It's not just sitting back and, listening to someone playing.
Yeah.
Well,
which
the
is-
audience are
which
in
is
the
great.
creation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Trying
yeah.
to get to that level.
And that's it takes a bit of skill for that, right?
Mm.
And art, because you gotta be quite quick as well. So if someone yells out, "Oh, yeah, you gotta quick," no, sit there. Hang on, let me
Oh
hang
yeah.
on, let me
Yeah,
tune.
yeah, that's true.
Oh look, if you're still there, you better don't ask anything.
But
You
there
better
was,
play behind the curtain.
I think there was a I think it was Dizzy's here in Melbourne where they would all. There was a night where musos could come in, right, and they'd have a whiteboard on stage.
Oh, I've seen this before.
Oh, that's
That's,
uncomfortable science.
yeah, uncomfortable science.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that
That's the next level.
yeah,
love them.
That's
yeah.
the next level.
And then
Yeah.
right, and then all right, let's do something on this, and that's
next level.
that'll be good
Yeah.
to be part of like that.
Oh,
You'll
Yeah.
need to have your wits about you.
Yeah, you have to have your shit together
Yeah, yeah,
to be on the stage, and especially the guy that is out the stage is suggesting chord progressions and
oh, he's
and time
insane.
signatures and
Yeah.
stuff. It's like that the whole thing is like you have to know what you're doing,
yeah,
at least where you are.
yeah. Maybe we can do that in our heads.
Yeah.
And not tell anyone. So,
Yeah.
Nicola, you've played with various bands, and you're quite a busy musician in Melbourne. What are your thoughts on the industry at the moment? What are your thoughts on the industry as a musician, as an artist, as a member of the music community here in Melbourne? What are your thoughts?
Look, I don't want to sound cynical, but Melbourne changed a lot as a city, especially after lockdown. I think there is a lot going on, like I said before, and sometimes it feels there's nothing is really happening, but there's a lot going on. A lot of new bands, a lot of great musicians, and I have the fortune to play with some of them.
Yeah.
So it's really an honor for me to be part of it, to have them in my band and to play in their projects as well.
Yep.
So that's pretty something for me, really valuable. Where he's going, who knows, man? It's like, where we all going?
Yeah.
It's like
yeah, so true.
to predict where something goes. I think it's a sort of a limitation for me.
Yeah.
To predict where it goes. It's like, I can see that it's going there, and if it's a place that I like, okay, I will push it through.
Yep.
If it's a place that I don't like, I'll let go.
All right, let me put it to you this way then. If you had a magic wand to make the music industry better here in Melbourne, what would be the first thing that you would do?
Oh, okay. I will do something like this what we're doing today.
Okay.
More.
Yep.
Like in pretty much in every suburb, at least. At least. If I had the magic wand that I will give to all the musicians, or at least people that are starting into music, the ability to have their own space and own studio in their home.
Yeah.
Like, they have their own space, like space like this.
Yep.
And, just to, and also to give more money to venues to pay the bands.
Yeah.
Bang.
That's
what I was waiting for.
Because, because that's the bottom line,
That's where the livelihood is for us.
Yeah.
That's
where the everything lies there.
Yeah, because I've heard some things that have been changing with the venues and the approach to musicians from the venues and everything like that. Like on a different podcast, we were having a chat with Stefano.
Stefano, he's a dear friend.
Yeah, amazing musician. And we were talking about, where the venues are now charging for sound checks apparently.
Oh yeah. They're charging for the sound check. You have to have your door person.
Yeah.
You have to promote your stuff.
And if you don't have a certain amount of followers and stuff like that, then they don't take you on.
Yeah.
But that paying for sound check is a bit too much, I think. And that's why when you said give more money to the venues, that'll be good. But if it translates to giving back to the musicians.
Right?
Yes.
So,
because basically,
and that's hard to police, right? That's hard to account for sometimes.
Look, at the beginning, I was upset with the venues because I was on this part of the spectrum. I was a musician playing in venues and not getting paid well.
Yeah.
And then playing a lot of gigs in different bands, different venues, and etc. I start to understand why.
Yeah.
Because they don't have the money to pay you.
Yeah. Yeah.
They basically don't.
Yep.
And they are opting to have you in their venues to bring more people.
Yep.
So they can pay you and they can keep on going with that.
Yeah.
But if a new band that doesn't have followers, they didn't record anything, and they're pretty new, and they need exposure, and they hit up venues, and they don't show with the crowd, the venue don't call you anymore.
Yeah.
And that's fair.
Yeah.
I call that it's fair.
But how would a starting off band get a break? See, that's the thing. You see, there's a double-edged sword. So, and I'm aware of the venues and everything like that, and I think there should be more funding given to the venues from a government perspective to say, look, you know what, you as a venue can apply for a rebate, or you have this much funding to take on, say, 4 bands a month that are just starting out. Here's the money for it.
Yeah.
That should happen.
That's a good approach, for example. Yeah.
And you know what? And the next tier is probably less amount of money is for someone that's well known. So because
for
they're going to bring
launch
or something like that, have different categories, have different tiers. Here's the money because the government has a lot of money, right? And they've got a bucket for the arts, money, right? So. Yeah, exactly. So this is
they do.
Yeah, and this is why we're spooking it, and this is why one of the reasons why we're doing this podcast as well, to make people aware, to make the government aware, to make we're out there, we're doing something. It's not.
Yeah.
It's probably we're not producing cars, or we're not working producing AI or this or that or whatever the trend is.
Yeah.
But we're there. We're making
Yeah.
people feel good, right? And people want to go out and they want to listen to music. They want to listen to good music. But you also get to give the people who are starting out, the young people who are coming out, you got to give them some sort of a thing to stay in the thing. Otherwise, like I've had this conversation with many people with many lecturers and musicians and teachers, kids that are coming out of these, the colleges and the music schools and TAFEs and unis and whatever, and they're coming out as musicians. What are they going to do? Not everyone can be a teacher, right?
Yeah.
So this is where it's hard because, as established musicians, you, me, I'm like, we can get gigs, right? We can, we've been established. But what happens to those people to the kids who are just coming out 18, 19 years old or 20, and, they've got a passion for this and they've got a passion for life, and because we were all like that at one stage, right? We got to feed them. We got to give them something. And I think the venues can't do it. Right, the venues can't. The venues are a business. They're trying to survive themselves, right? But if the government gives something, where say, not a grant or not something like that, it's just a guaranteed thing, right? Where this is going out to the venues, say of this caliber, of that caliber. It's not you need to apply for a grant or this that, because not everyone knows how to write grants. Not everyone wants to apply for a grant. It's like, you're eligible for this as a venue. And this needs to go to the artists.
Exactly. That's
how I
inspiration
see it.
that should be done,
Because
motivation.
it's hard.
Because if the government will embrace this and give more fundings to venues, and venues will be like, okay, now we have the fundings.
Yeah.
We can afford to feed our bands.
That's right.
Because basically what they want, apart from money, is just, you feed them, you give some drinks, you make them happy, but also you have to pay them because, that's a job.
That's right.
And
Exactly
for
right.
someone that is starting now, it's hard to say that they're a working musician because you're starting now.
Exactly.
So you are not established. That's whatever you do.
Yeah,
you have to
exactly.
establish yourself first.
That's right. And look, not everyone has got the smarts for social media. Not everyone puts their stuff on the platforms. Some kids are introverts. They're great musicians, but they don't do that. So
True.
you gotta account for them as well. We're all human. We're all musicians, right?
Absolutely,
So everyone has a different way of portraying their artistry. Not everyone's savvy. Not everyone's. So you got to give them a bit of a thing. And these venues, if they have that support from the government saying, you know what, I've got this much money, at least for 1 month, for 2 bands a month, let's get someone in. And then then they can they can do the auditions or whatever for certain bands. On the flip side, the musician, and this is a conversation that we were having with Stefano, the musicians need to work with the venue.
With the venue.
Not against the venue.
Not
They need to
against
work
the
with the
venue.
venue. They
No,
need to
always
say,
with the venue.
yeah, always.
Not
No, look,
against.
and be honest. Be upfront and be
Open.
transparent. Just say,
Yeah.
look, this is what I am. This is my following. This is it possible? And if the venue says, you know what, it's possible, but this is going to be the agreement,
And that's fair.
right?
I think it's fair.
Yeah. Otherwise, you're not going to get a gig. They're not going to get the opportunity to have a great band in.
Yeah.
It's
And then the music scene starts fading out with the new talent.
yeah,
Talents,
Yeah,
new
we want
talents
to kick
start
that.
feel like, you know what?
yeah. So
Better,
true.
I don't know, I'll do
So
something
true.
else.
So true.
Yeah, we want to keep the
That's
future
it.
generations
Exactly.
going.
Exactly.
That's it.
We
So
don't want
true.
them to go. What my concern is on this topic is that I don't want them to go through. I guess I'm sure we can all relate. When I moved to Melbourne, I just spent years and years playing unpaid gigs,
Oh, yeah.
just to build my.
Just to build,
And we
yeah.
don't want that for this current generation. We don't want them to have to go through all of
No.
that as well.
Exactly.
If possible,
lowers their morale.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
It's
It
But
becomes
it's
a
also-
hobby almost if you
it's
especially
not even a hobby at the end. It's something that they
it's
dread
something-
doing.
Yeah, and we don't want that.
Exactly.
We want the passion to
Yeah.
continue with that.
To become the primal, how you say it, primal thing to live in life. You know, to make a life out of it.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
My son is starting to play guitar and he's getting quite good, and I'm thinking, how do I encourage him to continue with music? You know, because in this day and age, like here in Melbourne, you need to have another job to fuel your passion, right? Which we all did, but it's hard to say. I don't want him to stop playing, right? And I don't want him to do anything like that, but he's getting really into it now. So can you imagine him, like, I picture myself like years and years and years ago, like him.
Yeah.
Can you imagine, like, you know, you'll do a few gigs, 3 gigs to start off, you know, as a youngster and stuff like that. But going on and on and on, you need to have something to fuel that thing, you know, and you gotta.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, you gotta feed that, right? To feed that, you gotta have places to play in. You gotta get paid.
Yeah.
It gives you that, you know,
The motivation.
that motivation, you know.
Of course.
And it's not anything, you know, for especially for young bands, it's more of, you know, getting together with their mates or getting together and playing, you know, and having some
at least a few years.
A few years. You want to
yeah.
get out there, get gig fit, you know. And how do I portray that to him? It's hard.
It's hard.
It's hard.
Especially
It's not.
these days.
Yeah, it's not. Oh, go out and apply for a job. You just do a
No.
resume here, application. It's not that.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
But
Or maybe what you can do is just bring it with you on your gigs, and
that's what I do.
Yeah,
and I take him to gigs. Now that he's 16 now, so I'm taking him to some gigs where he's probably not supposed to go, but I'll take him with me. So that's how I was too, you know. I just take him to see bands, and that's
find ourselves in places that we were not supposed to be there.
Well, we had a gig on Saturday. I got him to jump on the soundboard, so he was doing sound for us.
Yeah, he
That's
did a great
good.
job.
So I'm getting him to look at all aspects of the industry. It's not just playing; it's the hard work of going there, setting up, doing your own sound, doing all of that. Because it's not, I'm just going to go there and play my guitar.
It's
not about that, mate.
That's the last thing that you do.
Yeah. And he
Although those
sees,
gigs are nice.
Yeah, true.
and he sees all the effort that, you know, we put in rehearsal and all that, and you know, it's
a lot of effort.
a lot of effort.
A lot of effort.
But you know what? There's nothing like jumping on stage and playing, and it's a different world. All of that you forget about. You're on stage, you're enjoying the moment, like you were saying before, having fun. You're on stage. Not you can't experience that in any other sort of work, I don't think.
No, because I think it's because you drop a lot of tension and a lot of I don't know if I can say this, a lot of bullshit.
Yeah, of course you can. You can say whatever you want.
Yeah, right. So you drop all the bullshit that you're carrying, and you're playing. So it's in the word. So you are playing with whoever is around you.
Yep.
You are playful. You know, you are not judging what they do. I mean, you are judging because we all judge, but in a different way.
Yeah.
Not with heaviness or with, you know, it's like you're judging, but you're also embracing the playfulness that you're receiving back. It's like, you know, throwing a ball and you throw it back. It's just playing.
Yeah, of course.
You know, you're enjoying that. It's like, that's, and then from there you can create something beautiful.
Yeah, yes, of course.
Only through playing.
Yeah.
You know, and that's not just between musicians. It's in a relationship, in a friendship.
Yeah.
You know, whatever you do, if you're playful with each other, something beautiful can be created.
Definitely.
If you're not playful, you're not having fun, something beautiful will never happen.
Yep.
So
actually, the opposite will happen. Something bad will happen.
Exactly. And then that's a nightmare.
Yeah. Nicola, what are the projects, or what have you got coming up at the moment? Because we can pop them on the links and stuff like that. You'll give me the links. But what have you got in the next, have you got anything in the next couple of weeks?
I have a gig this weekend, actually, and this Friday with my trio of Bloom.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
This will probably be next week. So we probably missed out on
Oh,
but that's
yes,
fine.
yeah,
Doesn't matter, you got this
this
week.
one is going to be
Have you got anything after
next
that?
week. After that, yes, of course I do. I have a gig at 303, Bar 303 with Dodge Sedan and Odyssey to the Sun.
Yep, you sent me that one.
Yes. Yeah. And then a newborn project is my band, my drummer, Rory. He put together his new band,
Okay.
and he's playing at the gig as well with two
Awesome.
drummers.
Oh, awesome.
So it's gonna be really, really huge,
Awesome.
huge night
Yeah, come see
of
that.
live music. So yeah, 1st
Come
of
see that.
September.
First of
303.
September.
Okay.
303.
Yeah, great.
So
We should probably
yeah,
go together if you're free.
Yeah. Yeah.
It would be good to see it.
Yeah, definitely.
yeah. You guys are welcome to come down.
Yeah.
And we're also introducing a new guitarist
Mm-hmm.
in Dodge Sedan, Max. I don't know if you met him. He's
Max Myland?
yes.
Yeah.
You know Max.
Yeah,
he joined
fantastic.
the band.
Yeah.
Joined the band. This is going to be like his first
Hang on, this is Max from Mount
Cujo.
Yeah. Yeah, he's great.
Yeah, you know Max.
Yeah. I met
Yeah,
Max,
so he joined the band a few months ago, and this is actually his official gig
Really?
Ooh.
with us.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
So yeah, we're really excited to have him on board
Yeah,
and
yeah.
introduce him in our family, and also to play with these other two great bands as
Awesome.
well.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Any recordings or anything coming up?
we did the recording sessions. Actually, it's an AP.
Yep.
Like a month or so ago. We are in the mixing
Yeah.
process. You know,
Yeah.
the mixing process takes a little
Yeah,
bit.
I know all about
You
it.
know what it's like.
Yeah.
So yeah,
That's why I don't have any here.
yeah. Likewise, you know, that's all about.
No, that's cool, man.
So yeah,
Yeah, that's good.
that's with Dodge Sedan. So
Yeah.
the recording is with Dodge Sedan. Hopefully, but most likely we will launch a single by the end of October.
Yep.
So,
Awesome.
Stay tuned.
so
Awesome.
things are
Yeah.
moving.
Yep. We'll be
Yeah.
on it. We'll
Things
be,
are moving. Yeah.
Nicola, thanks so much
Thank
for
you.
being part of it. Great talk, great insight
Thank
to
you.
yourself as an artist. We'll have you back on as well.
Oh,
Definitely.
Thank you so
We're
much.
gonna-
Yeah.
It was
All
a
the-
really pleasure to be here with you guys.
It's absolute pleasure to have you guys. It's really good to connect with the musicians here, and it's really good just to have a chat, if not anything else. You know.
Oh
And
yeah. I
spread
want to
the
thank
word
you
and,
for that.
you
I
know.
want to thank you for that to make this happen
No, it's
because it's really important to for the people out there
Mm,
to have a connection with the artists and musicians that are at least in Melbourne
yes,
and
definitely.
have a close look.
Yeah,
you
put
know,
a face.
Totally agree.
Yeah. You put a name to a face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then also they get the chance to listen what the artist is thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know,
Exactly.
about
That's the whole
things.
point.
You know
Yeah.
what
That's
I
not
mean?
because I don't just see you on stage. They actually get to see who you really are, and to to
on a
see
personal level.
on a
you
personal
know,
level.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
intimate.
yeah,
That's
exactly,
where- yeah.
exactly right. And that's the whole point. And again, we are trying to give more exposure to the musicians here in Melbourne. And I know we're small, but we're fighting the good fight.
Man, everything starts small and,
Yeah,
then,
of course.
and then becomes
Cozy.
big.
Of course. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
cozy. It's
Awesome.
cozy. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, man.
But
It's like,
thanks,
you know,
Nicolas. Thanks so much. And our pleasure to have
Thank
you on,
you.
man. We'll
Thank
have
you
on
so
again.
much. Thank you.
Till next time. Ciao.
See you later.
The Strike A Chord Podcast, presented to you by ValentinoFlamenco.com and AmlaMusic.com.